Welcome to class. We will be doing a short, maybe 30-minute or so yoga flow with a focus on core. So let's just get started. Come into a child's pose. Let your head rest. Stretch your arms forward. Send the hips back. And then just relax into that shape, and we'll take a few deep breaths. Deep breath into the belly, chest, collarbones, all the way up to the top. And then exhale, let it out through the mouth. Again, big breath into the low back, mid back, upper back, all the way up to the top, and hold it. And then let it out through the mouth. One more time, big breath in. Hold at the top and sip in more. Stay relaxed as you hold it. And exhale, let it out. Shift forward into a tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. As you exhale, come into cat pose and just hold it here for a moment, feeling into the stretch through the back as you press the feet into the floor, the tops of the feet. Use the floor as resistance to activate that stretch. On your inhale, take it in the other direction into cow pose. Stay here for a moment, really feeling into the opening through the front of the body, the abdomen, the chest, the shoulders, collarbones, neck. And as you exhale, round. On the inhale, arch. One more time, exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Now stay down in cow and then take your torso to the left and up. So using your rib cage, take it around through the top, through that cat pose, right and down. So you're making a circular shape, a spiral. Scoop the belly out as you exhale and allow the belly to drop as you inhale, making sure that we're not compressing those lower vertebrae, but taking it nice and easy. Let's meet back in a cow and take it in the other direction. Exhale as you round the spine and scoop out the belly. Inhale as you drop the belly and let the lungs fill. Last one. And then let's meet back in a neutral spine. Bird dog, we take our right leg back and our left arm forward. Opposite sides. Inhale for length. Exhale, crunch elbow to knee, navel to spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. 3 more. Good. This time, reach out and lower your left elbow to the floor. And then bring your right knee towards your right shoulder as you exhale. Then kick your foot out to the side. Point the toes, sweep it back. Draw the knee up as you exhale. Extend the leg and sweep the leg back, pointing the toes. Let's do it 3 more times. Abs in. Good. Now extend the leg out to the side, flex the foot, and set the foot down so it's in line with your knee, and then come up to kneeling. You want your pelvis to be squared and tucked so we're not arching or twisting. Reach the arms overhead, palms together, and I'm just going to turn to the side for a better view. You want those toes planted. Working the obliques, we exhale, take it over to the right. Challenge that range of motion. Keep your arms by your ears. Inhale, bring it back to center. And then exhale, take it over in the other direction. Find that challenging range. And then bring it back to center. Find your own pace here. Exhaling as you crunch. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, crunch the other side. Keep going, keeping the arms by the ears. The kneecap of the right leg lifted, to make sure we're not hyperextending that knee. Last one. Let's reach over to the right and place the right hand lightly on the leg. As you reach over, gaze up, press your tailbone in, stay strong and active here. Maybe reach a little bit further, not pressing on your leg, but staying light on that hand. And then bring it back to center, arms up. And exhale, drop your left hand to the mat underneath your shoulder. If you're having trouble here, maybe if your arms or your legs are disproportionate to each other, if you have longer legs, shorter arms, you might need a block underneath this hand. And then lift your right leg up and balance. And make sure your wrist is directly underneath your shoulder so you're nice and stacked. Just make sure abs are in, tailbone presses in. And then set that foot down. Press into the mat and then reach all the way over for a side stretch. Press your tailbone in to avoid compressing the low back. Wrap your supporting tricep in. One more breath. And then reach your right hand up for the sky. Stabilize through the core, press into your right foot, and then use those obliques to pull you up. Extend the hands forward as your hips go back into a child's pose variation. Just stretch those hands forward, let the head rest, and take a few deep breaths. You should feel a stretch through the inseam of that right leg into the groin, inner hamstrings. And then lift up into tabletop. Knees back underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, and we'll do that on the other side. So your left leg extends back, your right arm extends forward, opposite sides. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch elbow to knee, navel to spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. 3 more. And last one. This time reach out and then set your right elbow underneath your right shoulder. Keep the belly button in as you draw your left knee towards your left shoulder. Extend the leg out straight and then point the toes and sweep them back. Again, exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend and sweep back. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, sweep. We have 2 more. This time, extend your leg out to the side. Flex your foot and set your foot down in line with your right knee. And then come up to a kneeling position. So I'll stay turned. Well, no, I'll turn the other way. Left leg is out. Arms up. Palms together. Drop your tailbone. Avoid arching or twisting through the spine. Let's take it over to the left. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take it on the other side. Make sure the arms stay by the head, by the ears. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, crunch. Keep going side to side. Make sure that you approach that challenging range of motion so you really feel your obliques working. Let's do 1 more each side. Let's bring it up to center and, reach over to your left and just let your left hand drop lightly to your leg. Gaze up, press the tailbone in, avoid that arch in the back. Keep your left kneecap lifted to avoid hyperextension. Maybe stretch a little bit further. And then come up on your inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Again, if you feel like maybe the floor or your limbs are a little bit disproportionate, you can place a block underneath your hand. It'll help you find those long lines through your spine rather than collapsing. And then lift your left leg up. Make sure that your right wrist is directly underneath your shoulder. Press your tailbone in, keep those abs in. And then just find your breath as you stretch through the heel, out through the top of the head, through the arms. And then set that foot down, plant it firmly. Reach the arm all the way over and press your tailbone in as you explore just a little bit of a back bend. We want to avoid compressing those lower vertebrae. And then come back to the midline so you're nice and squared through the pelvis and the shoulders. Use your obliques to reach all the way up to center. Inhale. And then exhale, send your hips back as your hands go forward. Let your head relax. Take a few deep breaths. Your left toes will probably come up off the floor, no biggie. And then gently bring it back up to tabletop. And we'll meet in a forearm plank. So stretch the heels back as you pull the heart forward, belly button in. We want to keep the hips a little bit lower to make sure that the quads and the glutes are turned on. And we'll just dip the hips right to left. It definitely helps if you have like some fun music that you can play right now. Makes it a little bit more interesting, more playful. Take it over to the right side only. Just go into your beat. Take it over to the other side. And then go side to side. For 3, 2, and bring it back to center. Gently lower your knees down, then your hips down, and then slide your elbows forward so we know that they're directly underneath your shoulders in a Sphinx pose. Drag your heart forward. You might just kind of move your rib cage a little bit right, left. And now we're going to make our way back to forearm plank, but very deliberately. So curl your toes under, and then press your tailbone in. Start to scoop the belly up off the floor. Push out of those shoulders. And then lift your hips up off the floor. You could stay here if this is challenging enough, or the next stage is lift your knees up off the floor. And then as you exhale, you slowly lower down. Knees, hips, belly, drag the heart forward. Feel that length. And then as you exhale, reverse it. Knees are the last thing to lift. And inhale. Release to that Sphinx. And exhale back to forearm plank. Let's do it 2 more times. And exhale to forearm plank. Inhale to Sphinx. And exhale to forearm plank. This time gently lower all the way down. And then slide your hands back. Inhale to a cobra. Make sure to peel those shoulders back and down, elbows in, belly in. 1 more deep breath. And release. Good, now we're coming into swimmer. So extend your arms forward, lift your legs. We want to make sure that there's no bending in the knee. So this is what it looks like to bend in the knee, even just a little bit. You want to avoid that. So make your legs super straight. You want all the action to come from the booty and the hamstrings. Move your thigh bones. And then arms up. You can just flip your palms in. I always like to add a lat pull and get some back strengthening. This is super important. Helps to undo all the slouching that is typical in most people's lives. So bringing awareness, point your toes, squeeze your booty, abs in. For 3. Squeeze those lats. 2. And 1. Relax. Rest your head on your hands. You can turn your head to the side and just maybe shake your hips out a little bit side to side. And turn your head the other way for balance. And then let's come into a downward facing dog, or you can come into child's pose if you like. Make sure that your down dog's not too short by coming to plank first, making sure of the alignment there, and then taking it back to downward facing dog, just because there's a common tendency to shorten the stance once we get back there. Now, if this is a proportion thing, if you have longer legs and shorter arms, shorter torso, that means that you're going to have more weight coming down into your hands, so you might just want to put blocks underneath your hands. And that will just give you a little bit of extra lift so you won't feel your legs pressing your hands down into the floor. Hopefully that makes sense. You can always leave me a comment if you need some clarification. This actually feels really nice, even though my proportions are fairly all right here. So just stretch your hamstrings. You might need to bend your knees, stretch your spine, rotate your inner thighs back. Pull your belly button in. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then step or float all the way through to a seat. And onto your back. You can take a block or maybe a weight if you have one and place it between your knees. As you squeeze that block, it's going to give you a little bit more activation in your core. So arms are out to the sides. Make sure that your knees stay in line with your hips. If they come too close, we're going to lose that challenging range of motion. So you want to keep it forward a little bit. Knees over to the right. As you exhale, make sure shoulders stay on the floor. And then inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, take it to the other side. And inhale, back to center. Good, just keep going. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Now, if you wanted to add some extra sets of this, you could always pause the video. I also often like to isolate right and left sides, like really burn out that right side first, and then make it over to the left, and then alternate sides. So feel free to add your own sort of like creative flair to these abs if you feel drawn to do so. Make sure that the work is happening in your core, not in your face or your jaw. Let's take about 10 more seconds. Keep pressure on that block. Last one. And then bring it back to center. Let's take the block, set the feet down, and just slide the block underneath the hips. So you're in a supported bridge. Oh, that feels so nice on the low back. Might feel a little traction between those lower vertebrae, as long as it's on its lowest setting. And just feel the pelvic bowl kind of hollow out. And then take the block out from underneath you and slide your heels up close to your booty, maybe within fingers touching distance, hopefully. Feet are hip width distance. We want to make sure that our toes point straight forward, our heels point straight back. Shoulders tucked underneath you, arms at your sides, tuck, curl, lift your pelvis up for a bridge. If your shoulders are tight, you might just grab onto the sides of the mat. Otherwise, interlace your fingers beneath you. Try to keep your palms together. Shrug the shoulders down the back. That goes for both variations, whether you're holding the mat or holding hands. So shrug the shoulders down the back like you're shrugging off a jacket. Puff out your chest. Move your chin away from your chest. That's going to keep the pressure on your intervertebral discs balanced. And then send your knees forward. Lift your hips higher. Lift through the sides of the rib cage. One more deep breath. And gently release. Articulating the spine down. Let's just take the knees and windshield wiper them from side to side. A little twist is always good after a back bend. It resets the spine, kind of neutralizes things. Come back to center, and we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh for a figure 4 or half pigeon. Interlace your fingers either on the left thigh, or if you can reach, you can grab the shin. Lots of other variations you could take here as well. So flex that right foot and clamp your right knee shut. That's really the more important cue, because it's going to shut the knee. That way the stretch stays in the hip. And then pull the legs in, knees lined up with shoulders. Notice, for me, that changes the stretch a lot. One more breath. And then set your left foot on the floor as we come into half happy baby. Grab the outside edge of your foot. Take your knee out to the right towards the ground, sending the heel towards the ceiling. That right shin is vertical. And then if you feel comfortable, extend your left leg all the way forward. And then use your arm strength to pull the knee towards the ground as you ground that left thigh bone. And then take the leg up. You can keep a hold of your foot, or you can just interlace the fingers behind the leg if you need to. Shouldn't hurt. Make this feel nice. Breathe into it. One more. And then bend that knee and use your left hand, opposite hand, to take that knee across your body for a twist. Right arm out to the side. We want to keep the shoulders on the floor so we keep the twist in the thoracic spine. Turn your head to the right if that feels good. One more breath. Gently come back to center. Give both knees a squeeze. And then set your right foot on the floor. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Pull your legs in, either grabbing the thigh or the shin. Now flex your left foot, but also close your left knee, like clamp it shut, like there's something behind your knee and you're trying to hide it. And bring your knees lined up with your shoulders. Whew, that feels so much deeper that way. And then pull the legs in. Use your arm strength without overdoing it in your neck and shoulders. Totally normal to be tighter in one side than the other. One more breath. And then set your right foot on the floor. Keep that knee bent for now. Half happy baby. Grab the outside edge of your left foot with your left hand. Pull the knee towards the ground, out to the left side, the heel towards the ceiling so that shin is vertical. And then extend your right leg forward, grounding your right thigh bone into the mat. Breathe deeply into the hips. Use your arm strength to pull the knee downwards towards the ground. One more breath. And then extend that leg up. You could always hang onto your leg instead of your foot, or maybe use a strap or a belt or a towel or something. But make this feel nice. Observe the relationship between how you breathe and what you feel. See if you can become sensitized to the dissolving or unsort of winding feeling through the muscles. One more breath. And then bend that knee and use your right hand to take the leg across the body for a twist. Left arm goes out to the side like a wing. Again, we want to keep our shoulders on the floor just to maintain the twist in the thoracic spine, because that's where we really need it. And then if your neck feels okay, you turn it to the left. Notice where you might be kind of holding or guarding or protecting. And see if you can soften into that and let go. If not, give yourself the space to modify. One more breath. And bring it back to center. Give both knees a squeeze. And then extend your legs all the way forward. If you feel discomfort in your low back, you can always place some blocks underneath your knees or thighs here so you get just a little bit of a bend in your knees, and that'll make your low back more comfortable. So we just come down for a few moments of meditation, arms at your sides, palms face up. Bring your chin closer to your chest. You can even use your hands and pick your head up, make some traction in the back of the neck, and then set your head back down with all that nice space and length created back there. And arms are at your sides, palms up to receive any divine guidance that you might need. Make sure shoulders are tucked underneath you. And then just let your breath be natural. Don't try to control it, just let it be. Soften your face, your jaw, neck and shoulders. And just take your awareness down the length of the body. Notice anything that might be clenching and let it melt into the mat. Each time your awareness wanders off into your thoughts, kindly with compassion, bring yourself back to the body, this moment, exactly as it is. Becoming sensitized to all the delicious sensations of your body. Tuning into maybe a frequency or a feeling of energy. So I encourage you to take the next 1 to 3 minutes, 10 minutes ideally, to just chill here and allow yourself to soak up all the benefits of your practice, and think of it as a moment to recharge, just like we recharge our cell phones. Thank you for practicing, and if you want more core workouts, be sure to hit me up. Enjoy your meditation, enjoy your day. Namaste.